Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me again on my channel for another episode of Undeniably Nikki. I have, much like you guys, been in quarantine for about 2.5 months now. And y'all, it is starting to wear on me. It really is. I was holding strong, I was doing good. I was like, this isn't a big deal, you know. I like my me time, it's not a big deal. I need a little break to actually just kind of relax and not have things to do really. But here's the thing. I'm still doing a lot of stuff. I'm still busy for work. I'm still busy for organizations that I'm a part of. But I'm not getting that release through free time, you know, because everyone is still, you know, adhering to the stay-at-home order. A lot of things are still closed here in Vegas. We actually just had phase 1 happen where non-essential businesses could open back up, and barbershops and things like that, and hair salons and nail salons and things like that. But you know, being able to like go and hang out on the strip, or go hang out downtown, or you know, go to a restaurant with all my friends for brunch, or go to a bar or anything like that, that stuff we are still not allowed to do. And honestly, it's getting hard. It's getting so hard, just because, like I said, I'm still busy with work every single day. I'm still working from home. My work from home mandate actually just got extended, which I'm happy about, because you know, even though I'm bored right now and I kind of wish I had things to do, the fact that I can still, like, I can go get my nails done now, the fact that I can go get my hair colored and cover up these gray hairs because they are ridiculous right now, the fact that I can do all of that right now, I still won't do it because I am still very paranoid about this virus, the coronavirus, the new coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, and how quickly it can spread. So to me, my safety, my health is way more important. So I'm still taking extra precautions and things like that. I know other people who have, you know, gone and got their hair done, who are getting their nails done. My sister is actually back at work as a barber, and she says like the amount of people that have been coming to get haircuts is like ridiculous. So you know, I know people who are doing that, but I'm just saying, me personally, I'm still trying to look. I love living. I want to be here. I want to protect myself as best as I can. So if I have to sit around with not the cutest nails right now, with a head with some gray hairs in it, because I can't get my hair colored, that's what I'm going to do. Because to me, my safety is way more important. And I hope for a lot of you guys, even if you go and get your hair done or get your nails done, I hope that you're making sure that the places you go to are taking the proper precautions. I hope that you're making sure you're taking the proper precautions, still trying to make sure you're social distancing and things like that, not having parties or anything like that, but just being extra careful. Just because, you know, even if you don't get sick, you, with the whole like thing of it being asymptomatic and stuff right now, you don't want it to be like where you're a person who's asymptomatic, who has it and has no clue because you don't have any symptoms, and then you're spreading it to other people. Y'all, I even ordered some masks for me and my sister to start wearing because I just want to be careful. Because like I said, I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get anyone else sick, just in case I'm asymptomatic and have no clue. I just know that I'm still trying to take proper precautions, even though Las Vegas is in phase 1 and has opened up. And I hope a lot of you guys are too. But like I said, I'm going a little stir crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. I just miss being able to, one of the things I miss the most is I miss being able to honestly just kind of go out and not be as like cognizant of, you know, not touching my face after I touch something, or, you know, not like having to be 6 feet away from people. You know, like you have to be just extra aware of that stuff. And it's kind of like an extra little burden when you go out to do it, but it's well worth it because you just want to be safe and you want to keep people safe. But man, I miss the good old days where you can just honestly just go walk around on the strip, people watch, have brunch, just hang out with my friends, just run into a store with no problem, no thinking about it, not having to stand in line and, 6 feet apart, and then they let you in based on how many people are inside. I just, like, y'all, I don't know. Are y'all doing this too? Like, sometimes, like, because I work in news, and so sometimes when I'm literally writing stories about what's going on, it's like, I cannot believe it. I'm like, oh my God, like, are we dealing with this? It's like unreal. It's like a movie. But as bored as I am, as ready as I'm, to get back to a normal life. I don't even know if we would get back to that way. I think it'll be a new normal for sure. I will say I'm so grateful that I am here. I keep perspective. I think God that, I'm alive, because there's so many people who have died from this virus. And I also, thank God that I got to celebrate an important milestone before everything got all crazy. Like, I got to go on this great trip that I planned for my birthday, my 40th birthday at that. I got to go do that. Y'all, I'm 40. Like, I literally cannot. I'm sorry, I digress. I cannot believe I'm 40, y'all. It's crazy to me because I literally feel like I'm still in my 20s. But like I said, if I go out and I stay out too late and then I have to wake up the next day and recover, my body reminds me that I'm not in my 20s. Back to what I was saying. I still can't believe I'm 40. It's so crazy. But anyway, what I was saying is I'm grateful that I got to, do that. There's so many high schoolers and college students who graduated this year in 2020. And bless their hearts, they're not getting able to do like all those things that you look forward to doing once you're graduating high school or once you're graduating college. Like the kids in high school, they're not, all of their proms were canceled. They aren't having like traditional graduations. And it's just, it's so sad. I'm like, God bless these babies, because I know like that's what you look forward to the most. Your senior year, you look so forward to prom and you look forward to graduation. Like, there is nothing you look forward to more other than going to college, of course, if you decide you want to go to college. Or if you don't go to college and you decide, you want to go into the workforce right after. But, excuse me, a tickle. I got a tickle in my throat. There's like nothing you look forward to more than those things. And I guess it's not a good idea to use like a mimosa to get rid of my tickle. Ooh. Anyway, so I'm just like, my heart just goes out to these babies because I'm gonna pause this real quick, y'all. Okay, y'all, I had to get up and get some water because woo, that tickle was crazy. But anyway, what I was saying is like, my heart just goes out to these babies, and I call them babies because I'm just one of those people. I call every kid a baby. I'm like, you're such a baby. You're so cute. You're adorable. Like, that's just who I am. And I feel like even when we're grown as adults, we're still our parents' babies. So I'm that type of person. So anyway, my heart goes out to them because I'm just like, man, they're not being able to, experience these great milestones. And I mean, they are still getting them, like they're gonna definitely still graduate, but they're not able to have the experience, the full experience of it. So I just want to say to all the 2020 graduates, I just want to say congratulations, you all, whether you're in high school, whether you're in college, congratulations on reaching such an important milestone. You have worked your tail off and it has paid off. And I just wish you nothing but the best in your endeavors and everything that you're going to do. And I want you to know that literally the world is your oyster, You can go out there and you can do, and I know it sounds so cliche, but you really can. You can go after, you can do everything that you put your mind to and that you work hard for. And when doors close on you, just try to figure out another way inside. Just try to figure out another way to continue to go after your dreams and do your passion and do what you love the most, because you have worked so hard for this moment. You have earned it. And I just want you guys to just, even though things are not what you would hope they would be, I want you to realize that you are little rock stars, you're badasses, and this world is your playground. And you guys can just grab it and just go after it. You know, go after everything you ever want to do. And the college students who work so hard, it's so hard, you know, it's a lot of hard work to do all your courses in college, and you're not even getting a chance to walk across that big stage and have your parents or your family see you walk across that big stage after such an accomplishment. But I want you to know that you are seen, you are loved, and we, the world, we're all so proud of you and so proud of like the accomplishment that you have made and the dedication that you put into your studies so that you can even come out of school with a degree in what you want to do. Now just go for your dreams, keep trucking, don't give up, and know that anything is possible. I promise you guys it is. And in the middle of, you know, talking about all this, you know, giving all this love to the college graduates and the high school graduates, I just want to give a shout out to all the parents. There are so many parents. I'm seeing this on my timeline. There's like on Facebook, on Instagram, there are so many parents who are doing their best to try to give their kids the things that they are missing out on, to try some way of doing it at home, whether they're having like people drive by and celebrate their graduation because they're still trying to do social distancing, whether they're setting up a little prom in their house where they set up, you know, a photo booth, and they set up like, you know, so the kid can put on their dress or their tux and take pictures and stuff. And I just want to say, like, parents, y'all are the real MVPs, because I really appreciate y'all for doing this, because any person could have just been like, oh, well, I guess we're not going to get it, and then just kind of been like that. But you guys are like going above and beyond, and I see you and I appreciate you for that, because that's so awesome. That's dope. Like, I know my mom, if she was here, like, and this was my time to graduate, that's something she would have totally did. Like, I know she would have. So shout out to y'all for doing that. And then I also want to give a shout out to the celebrities who are doing anything they can to try to help in some way. You know, last night LeBron had this we graduate together kind of virtual graduation celebration for all the 2020 graduates. And it aired on live stream, it aired on Facebook, it aired on Instagram, it aired on ABC, NBC, CBS, CW, like all the networks. They aired it last night, and they also had just, you know, regular kids and regular parents submit, you know, videos and letters and things like that, just kind of like letting them know what they did so that they can include them in this experience too. So not only were they celebrating these graduates, they also, you know, allowed them to be a part of it too in that way. And I just want to read you guys real quick, like a little bit of the roster of who all was a part of this. This is something LeBron James planned. Like I said, it's a virtual graduation, and it's called We Graduate Together, and it happened on Saturday night. And just some of the people that took part in this program, and it was like a mix of commencement addresses from different celebrities and stuff, was Yara Shahidi, Lena Waithe, Mala Yousafzai, I don't know how to say her name, Malala Yousafzai, I think that's how you say her name. I don't really know who that is, but I think that's how you say her name. Her, Megan Rapinoe, the Jonas Brothers, Ben Platt, Pharrell, Bad Bunny, YB and Cordae, Lauren Gray, Lana Condor, David Dorbick, President Obama. He gave the commencement speech, one of the commencement speeches for the graduates. Olivia Wilde, Zendaya, just like a whole host of just so many celebrities, like, and the list goes on, who like took time out of their, well, I guess they don't really have a schedule right now, but yeah, I can't say that, because there are a lot of people who are doing a lot of virtual stuff. So they took time out of their schedule to take part in this so that they can make sure that they let these graduates know that they see them, you know, and that's all people really want, you know. Sometimes people just want to know that you care and that you see them. And so I really appreciate all of these people. I appreciate all the parents. I appreciate all the friends. I appreciate all the loved ones, all the celebrities just doing whatever they can to make children feel seen and to make them feel loved and to make them feel appreciated and to make them feel like, you know what, I'm so proud of you. You did this. Yeah, we're dealing in a crappy time right now, an unprecedented time of, you know, a virus, a deadly virus, and we have to take these measures to make sure everyone is safe. But I see you, you know, I see you and I appreciate you and I'm proud of you. So I just love that. I just think that's so great. And I'm so happy so many people are doing that. Now, since I have been in this time of socially distancing myself and making sure I'm staying quarantined and stuff, there's not really much to do. So it has been hard trying to figure out like what exactly I can really talk about. All I've been doing, honestly, working like crazy. The working is out of control. But I'm grateful I have a job because I know so many people lost their jobs. So I'm grateful. But y'all, I'm working a lot. Like, it's a lot. And then I try to go on walks whenever I can go on a walk because I got to keep my body moving. I'm not working out as much as I would like because honestly, it's hard to get motivated to work out at home. I be trying, y'all. I put YouTube on my TV and I go look at different little workouts and I be like, okay, let me do them. I go to LVCVA. Oh, no, not LVCVA. OVAC, Las Vegas Athletic. Wait, what is it called? LVAC. Why can't I think of this right now? Hold on. Yeah, LVAC, which is a gym out here. It's Las Vegas Athletic Center. So I go to LVAC, but it's been closed, as you guys know, since like March. But they have been putting like the classes that I like to go to. I like to go to a lot of dance classes because I love to dance. It's like my happy place, like one of my happy places. And I've been they put it on YouTube, like some of the classes, the teachers have been putting it on YouTube. So I've been trying to do that whenever I can, but it's just not the same. So like I said, I'm trying, but I'm not that successful at it. What I am successful is binge watching. I've been binge watching a lot of shows. The latest one I just binge watch. I'm still doing it. I still have I think I have like 3 or 4 episodes left, maybe 3. I started it yesterday and it's called Hollywood. Y'all, it's so good. It's on Netflix, and it's called Hollywood, and it's a Ryan Murphy produced show. So you know it's going to be good. And for those of you who don't know, Ryan Murphy, he was the creator of Glee. He is a creator of The People vs. O.J. Simpson. He's creator of the other one, The People, I forgot, I don't know if it was called The People, but it was the one about Versace being killed. He does all the American Horror Stories. He is like a genius, a literal genius when it comes to television shows and making them and programming and stuff like that. So he has this new show and it's called Hollywood and it is on Netflix. And this show is so good because, okay, so what he did is he is basing it on the golden age of Hollywood, which was like in the 50s, right after World War II. You know, that's what they call when people go to the Oscars and stuff nowadays, they say, oh, that's old Hollywood. So it was kind of like Hollywood when it was becoming like this big boom, the golden age of Hollywood. Oh, excuse me. And he basically, what he did in this show is it's a fictional show. But he also includes some of the real people from back then who were pretty popular. Like he has Rock Hudson in here, and Rock Hudson, everyone in Hollywood knew that it was the most open secret that he was gay. It was like it was a secret to the public, but it was very open around Hollywood. Like everyone knew he was gay. So he has a Rock Hudson character. Queen Latifah plays Hattie McDaniels, and Hattie McDaniels was the first black woman to ever win an Oscar, and she won for playing Mammy in Gone with the Wind. He also has just so many other people. He has like this guy named I think his name is Henry Wilson, who was like this big Hollywood agent. He was kind of a scumbag. He was actually Rock Hudson's agent back in the day, and he was gay. He was like in the closet, as a lot of men were back in the day, and he was just like kind of a scumbag. But he's being played by the guy from God, what's his name? Goodness gracious, I can't think of it right now. Shoot, what's his name? Oh my God, I can't think of it right now. Oh Lord, y'all, I can't think of it right now. But it's so good. So the point of this show is that there's a movie that is trying to be made in Hollywood where they will have a black lead actress who will be the first black lead actress in Hollywood. And the movie was written by, the screenplay was written by a black gay man. And so basically in Hollywood, Ryan Murphy, he said he's basically trying to create it of how like if Hollywood would have been this way back then, things would probably be a little bit different and more inclusive than it is now today. So he created Hollywood to create these happy endings of had Hollywood just been this way back then, maybe things would be a little bit different and more inclusive, and we wouldn't have like the whole hashtag Hollywood so white right now, and we wouldn't have so much of the Me Too stuff that's happening right now. Had things just been done, had people like had the courage to take different routes than what they did back then. So Ryan Murphy said about writing this show, he said, I wanted to do something where I gave some, if not all of these people a happy ending. How do I make a commentary on the power of Hollywood to change hearts and minds? I decided to put together a fictional alternative universe, Hollywood, and then populated it with some real people and other fictional characters loosely based on the real people. So that's how we have Rock Hudson and the Henry Wilson. And then there was this other guy, I can't think of what his real name was, but in Hollywood he plays the guy who owns like the gas station, and at this gas station he's pretty much running like a sex ring. So all these like lonely women who are rich, who have these husbands who don't pay attention to them because they're out there, you know, screwing their secretary or having affairs with everyone else, they come through get gas, and then they give like this code word where they say they want to go to Dreamland, and by saying that, the gas attendant gets in the car with them, and then they go like to the Beverly Hills Hotel or something, and then the gas attendant like services the woman. It's like crazy. And then, but it's not even just women. So this is happening with the guys too. And that's actually how we were introduced to Rock Hudson's character, who actually is the love interest of the black screenwriter in this show. And I can't think of any of these people's real name because a lot of them are newcomers. A lot of them are people we've seen before, but a lot of them are newcomers. But everyone's just doing so good, and it's so good. So if you guys want to pick up a show, this is a really good one to pick up. It's called Hollywood. So as you can see, I've been binge watching a lot of things. Actually last night, for the very first time, I watched The Photograph, which is the movie that Issa Rae is in and Lakeith Stanfield, and it's a love story. Y'all. So, it was so good. It was really, really good, and it was beautiful, and I'm not going to spoil anything because there may be people who are like me who don't really have time to sit down and watch things as much, as soon as they would like to. So I don't want to spoil anything. But in watching this, like I said, it's a love story. And Issa Rae did really well in like a serious part. It wasn't even, I thought it was going to be kind of like I'm watching Issa Rae play Issa D on Insecure, but it wasn't like that at all. She was really good in this part, and it was a little bit more of a serious part for her than how we usually see her on Insecure, and she did such a good job. So anyway, here's the thing. So I hadn't watched a love story or a romantic comedy in like so long. Like I just hadn't, because y'all, if I'm being real, like I've been single for a while, right? And I feel like I kind of got to a point where I started feeling like watching these movies it was like setting me up for disappointment in the dating world, because most men are not like these characters at all. They're not ready to bare their soul and bare their heart to you and just be open and honest with you and about their feelings. And most men in the real world, you have to like, it's like you have to it's like pulling teeth to just get them to be open and express themselves to you and with you, to just talk about anything as far as like how they're feeling. So I had got to the point where I was just like, I don't know if I can do these romantic comedies anymore. I don't know if I can do these love stories. And I took like a break from them. I literally have not seen a romantic comedy or love story of a movie, I think, in like a year. Because I just couldn't. Because I was just like, when I was going out there in the dating world, I was just like, I'm not getting this like romantic, amazing guy who tries to pick me up with these great one-liners that makes me laugh. And then I'm just like, and then, I say something clever and then we have this great conversation and then he asks me out on a date. It just wasn't working like that for me. One, I work so much, so I started doing online dating. It's awful. I know it works for some people. I know it does. I actually had a guy from there that I was talking to for a really long time. A pretty good time. But a couple of guys that I got online that I was talking to a couple of times, for a decent amount of time, but it just doesn't really work for me. I don't know why. It just hasn't been working. I completely gave up on it. I actually just kind of started thinking about maybe getting back into it and giving it a chance again, because right now, what is everybody else doing? I'm like, I read something too that said like, people are actually doing a better job of online dating right now because no one is like so busy with their life that they're doing quick little oh good or one words or things like that. People are actually trying to engage in real authentic conversations, which is really, really important to me. And one of the issues that I kept running into on online dating is that people were like answering me with one words or, short sentences, or it was right away, can I come over, or right away, or it just was like, it wasn't what I thought it should be. It wasn't like Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan and You Got Mail. It wasn't these beautiful moments that we see in romantic comedies. So I just had to take a break because I felt like, man, is this like, I started getting real jaded. And I know I was getting jaded because I was just like, I had these high expectations of what I thought my dating life should be, and it wasn't that. It was anything but that. It was like often I was feeling like I was doing all the work of keeping it going, and I was just like, I don't feel like doing that, I don't mind putting in the work, but I want other people to put in the work too. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so this is like me coming out of my, no romantic comedies, no love story, my little funk that I was in, where I was just like, I'm not even gonna look at it because it's lies. This doesn't happen. And I watched the photograph, and it is beautiful. It is a really good movie. There's just so many deaths in the movie, and there's little gems dropped here and there, and I thought it was really good. But oh my god, and the soundtrack is amazing. The soundtrack is so good. But in coming out of it, you know, that did beg me to ask the question of, you know, is this just something women do, as far as, you know, looking at romantic comedies and love stories and thinking, you know, this is how it's going to be for me, and then setting ourselves up for this failure and disappointment because it doesn't end up being that way. Do men do that too? Like, this is where I kind of wish I had, like, you know, someone that I can bounce these ideas off with. You know, my sister's back at work, so she is not trying to get any spare time to do my vlog with me. She's just not. She already told me. But like, this is like where I wish I had someone to have these conversations with, because this is what I need to know. So you guys can do me a favor. If you can just comment, make sure you know, first of all, if you like what you're seeing, please make sure you subscribe. And please make sure you are sharing Undeniably Nikki with your friends and your families, telling them all about it. But then can you also just kind of talk to me in the comments? Because I like to talk to you guys in the comments. And I just want to know, like, is this just something us women do? And why is it that we do this? Like, why? I've been trying to figure out and wonder, why is it that I put so much, like, thought of thinking that the real world is going to be like what we see on the big screen, as far as like how it should go when you meet someone? And am I setting myself up for failure by doing that? Is it wrong of me to hope and wish that I have moments like that? Or like, is that okay to do that? Or am I just setting myself up for disappointment? You know, so like I said, I just want to know what you guys think. If you could comment in the comments, let me know what you thought of the photograph. Let me know what you think about romantic comedies and love stories in general. If you believe in them, if you think that, you know, they're real. Because like, I'm a hopeless romantic, so I deep down think somewhere that, you know, for people to have these ideas, that it had to happen to someone for this to happen, like to have this idea. Like, this is how I think. So, but that's because I'm a hopeless romantic. But then I also like to get reality checks and like be told if my head is too in the clouds, because I know how I'm like a dreamer. So I know how sometimes my head can be in the clouds about things. So make sure so like I said, if you guys like want to weigh in on this, please make sure you like comment below and let me know. Make sure you like this episode, and make sure you like my channel, and make sure you subscribe to it. So yeah, that's all I wanted to know about that. Like I said, I wish I had another person right here right now so we can just really go in deep and go back and forth about it. You know, this is what the hard thing is about doing your own YouTube channel and not having anyone that you could do it here with. Like, for example, when my sister was here with me, like, we just play so well off each other. But one, because we've just known each other our entire lives. But like, even if I wasn't with my sister, like, to have someone else here when I'm discussing things like this, to just kind of get another perspective, is so like dope to me, and I love that. So since I can't have people really in my space right now because we're social distancing, like I said, I need you guys. I'm dependent on you guys to talk back to me about this and talk in the comments and let me know what you're thinking. Okay, all right, thanks guys. All right, so now I told you I talked about the photograph. I mean, I saw the photograph and it was really good. In the meantime, speaking of Issa Rae, I have to just make a public service announcement for everyone. Well, everyone who doesn't know. You guys, Insecure is not real. Okay, so there's a reason I'm saying this right now. Okay, so I'm a big Insecure fan. I'm a big Issa Rae fan. And so if you're watching this season like I am, You know what's going on. You know, I'm going to spoil a little bit of this. So I hope you guys have seen. If you have not, go ahead and cut it off, or not even cut it off. Just fast forward this part, go to the next part so that I won't ruin it for you. So basically what's happening right now on Insecure is that Molly and Issa are in this huge fight right now, this big old fight. And of course, everyone's talking about it because Molly and Issa have been best friends since college. They've been best friends for forever. And we've always seen they've had like this, you know, great friendship and great dynamic. Yeah, they've had issues, like all friends have issues every once in a while, but for the most part, they are literal ride or dies for each other. So I don't usually get in on like the reviews and things like that as far as like Insecure is concerned. I usually just leave that up to my friends, Chris and Spence, Dante Spencer, who is on Views from the Seven, and Chris, who is on Shenanigans with Friends. That's her podcast. So Views from the Seven is a podcast, and Shenanigans with Friends is another podcast, and they're both based in Las Vegas, and they're great podcasts. You guys should definitely check them out. They're on SoundCloud and they're on Spotify, so go look them up on there. But anyway, and Views actually has their own YouTube channel too, so it's called the Views from the Seven Network, so make sure you guys go check them out on there too. They're constantly putting out content, which is really cool. But anyway, so I usually leave the reviews to them, and I watch my Insecure, and then when they put out their review of like what went down in the episode, I like to listen to it because I like to, you know, see what they're thinking. And a lot of times I'm like yelling at I'm yelling like as I'm listening, because I'm like, no, what I think is, you know, and I'm going back and forth with them or whatever, either agreeing with them or disagreeing with them. So like I said, I usually leave that up to them. But on this episode, I have to talk about it just because everyone is kind of like in this debate now of who was wrong. Was Molly wrong or was Issa wrong? And Issa Rae actually weighed in on it, and she had to weigh in on it because y'all, and the reason I said y'all, Insecure is not real, it's not a real show, it's make-believe, is because Molly, the Yvonne Orji, who plays Molly, literally has been getting so much hate on Twitter. Like, people are out of control. Like, y'all bugging. Like, y'all, come on, y'all. So people are literally hating on this girl so much about the episode, and everyone's mostly blaming her and just going in on her. And, you know, she talked about it candidly and just was saying how, you know, this is something that they don't really train you for when you go to school to become an actress and stuff like that. And it's been kind of hard for her dealing with this backlash that she's been getting for her characters, the way her character is acting, which I was like, okay, girl, that just shows you're an amazing actress. But with that said, I need everybody to calm down because, hello, she's not really Molly. Her name is Yvonne Orji. And Yvonne Orji and Issa Rae are thick as thieves in real life. They are like best friends for real. So anyway, so I just want to tell you what Issa Rae said after everybody kind of was, you know, being kind of ridiculous and bashing Molly, but bashing Yvonne Orji like she's really Molly. So Issa Rae said, she says basically that she doesn't think Issa is blameless in this. She thinks Issa has some part that she needs to accept in this too, you know. And she says, I just want people to take a step back. I do think it requires a serious rewatch. No, she says, I do think it requires a serious rewatch, and we're not asking you to keep tally. But I don't think that Issa is blameless by any means. I think that there's been stuff building up, and whether you think that's the time or place for Molly to confront it, people have boiling points, and I think for her it came down to this. You don't respect the boundaries that I set for myself. I set the specific boundary, and I go above and beyond for you. I ride or die for you all the time. And I ask you this. This is the one limitation I placed on our friendship, and you still found a way to go behind. So that's what Issa Rae said of how she thinks Molly is feeling. And then as far as how she thinks Issa is feeling, she says, and I think on Issa's side, I think Issa's like, bitch, this is all I have. And this flimsy Cheeto of a boundary, this Cheeto door lock boundary that you put up, like I'm gonna find a way around it because I have to succeed. So by Issa saying that, she's saying that she thinks Issa's kind of like, but you're my best friend. Like, why wouldn't you step up to help me in this moment? No, you know how important this is to me. You know I need to succeed at this. So why can't you just do me this favor and help me out? Because you know that if I don't get this help, this all is gonna fail. And you know, Issa quit her job to do this, and the reason she wanted to do this was a very noble reason. It was a very genuine reason. She wanted to do it because she wanted us as Black people to have something for ourselves. She wanted us to be able to have a wonderful block party, you know, because, you know, everyone was going to Coachella and we're giving Coachella all this money. And she was just like, you know, it would be nice to be able to do something like this in the hood, in our neighborhood, where we know people probably won't be able to go to Coachella and experience this, but to have something like that here for us. So that's kind of what Issa was saying about this whole thing. So here's my whole take on it. I was very annoyed with Molly after this last episode. And here's the reason why. I get where she's coming from, where she tried to set a boundary. But to me, her boundary, to me, it just came, I felt like it came from a place of, and it could have totally been genuine, of coming from a place of, this relationship is important to me. I don't want to go there and I don't want to ruin it. I get that. But this is your best friend, and you know how important it is for her to succeed at this. And it's not like Andrew has ever said before, you know, I really hate when people ask me to help them to get an artist, and then Issa asked you to do it. Like, that wasn't even the case at all. You know, it was literally Issa's artist who was supposed to headline it, Schoolboy Q, that fell flat. Like, it didn't happen. And so the thing was literally a week or so away, and she needed to get a headliner. And so I feel that I was mad that Molly didn't want to help her, but I was like, okay, I appreciate Issa for trying to respect her boundaries and being like, okay, you know, if she said she didn't want to help, then fine, I'll figure out another way. And that's what she did. She still didn't, she respected your boundaries technically. She did. Your boundaries were, for Molly, the boundaries were that she did not want to be a part of asking Andrew to help out. She didn't want to do that because she thought it went beyond a boundary. So Issa's on the phone late one night. She's talking to Nathan. He's asking her what's going on. She tells Nathan what's going on. Of course, he cares for her. So of course he's going to be like, well, I can ask Andrew, you know, to help you out or put you in contact with someone. And of course, Issa, who's in a bind, is going to be like, can you please? I would love that. And then of course, Andrew, who seems like such a good, genuine guy, is going to be like, yeah, I can just give you an email. He didn't even set it up or anything. He just literally gave her the contact of who to reach out to. And what a lot of people don't know, like when you're networking and doing things like that, sometimes just having a name to be like sending emails to someone and be like, hey, my name's Nikki. I got your information from blah, 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 blah. I was just reaching out to you because he told, you know, he thought maybe you can help, blah, 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 blah. And then you go into your spiel. You know what I'm saying? It's not even that Andrew was the one that reached out and set it up. It was like he gave her an email. And Molly, when Molly was like, wait, what'd you do? And he's like, oh, I just gave her an email. Like, he literally, that's what he did. It was a big thing for him to do, but it's like he wasn't really put out that much. So my whole thing with Molly is, I get that she is upset that Issa did this and didn't tell her, but I also feel like she can't be too upset because she respected your boundary and she didn't ask you to do it after you kind of just left her to fail. And then, excuse me, y'all, I have like little burps today. I also don't like that she chose, after they had finally gotten back to kind of like a spot where they seemed like they were getting a little bit better, she chose the block party after Issa had had such a great day to do it. I also don't like that. So that was annoying to me. I don't like the way she stepped to her. She stepped to her from the very beginning like she wanted to fight her. And like, who goes for their best friend like that? Like you going up to them like you gonna fight them? Like, who does that? Where they do that? I don't do that. Where they do that? So that was annoying to me too. And I just feel like for some reason, anytime, like, we all know Issa got screw ups. We all know she then had issues getting her life together. It's taking her a little bit longer to get it together than it took Molly, than it took Lawrence. She's had, some trouble, but this was a moment where she was actually doing well, and it was a success. So Andrew wasn't even embarrassed because it was a total success. So I just didn't understand why her vibe was so nasty towards her best friend. I didn't understand why she came at her so foul, one. And I didn't understand why she came at her literally the night after she had just such an amazing, successful night. So you marred her successful night by making it about you once again. And like, if you guys think back to 2 episodes ago, she did the same thing again. Like when Issa was trying to get donors for the block party, and then Molly came, and like the first thing she goes is, girl, Andrew, blah, 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 blah. And she starts complaining about what Andrew was doing. And it was like in the middle of Issa trying to work and get all this stuff done. And it's just like, to me, I just feel like, I know Molly's been a good friend to Issa, but I also feel like she's been a very selfish friend to Issa and a very self-absorbed friend. And I feel like sometimes if it's not the Molly show, then this drama ensues or whatever. And I just thought the way she came at her was foul, and that's all it is. And like I said, I know Issa's not perfect, and I know she's got her faults in this too. She has maybe depended on Molly a little bit too much. There are some friends who can do that. They feel like, because you're always there for them, and they don't even know it. They don't even realize that they are dependent on you that much, but they do, So that's where Issa is going to have to take a step back from this and look and be like, especially after Molly threw all that in her face, and just kind of be like, I need to learn to stand on my own 2 feet a little bit more, because me leaning on her has worn her down a bit and has kind of created a little bit of friction between us, because Molly's annoyed that she always got to clean up Issa's mess. And so therefore she throwing little jabs at Issa, and then therefore Issa throwing little jabs back at Molly, because she feel like Molly coming for her and throwing jabs at her. And it's just this whole big circle of a mess that don't have to be, because nobody's communicating with each other and telling each other how they feel. That's what the big issue is that no one's talking, no one's communicating and saying, this is how you made me feel when. This is how you made me feel when. And then trying to talk it out and figure it out. So I just had to give my little take on that, because like I said, everyone has been kind of going a little crazy, attacking Yvonne Orgy about it. And like, I really wasn't going to even talk about Insecure today, but when I saw that, I was just like, okay, y'all gotta relax. Like, I know Molly got on my nerves too, but relax, so. Oh, and one more thing, just real quick, and then I'll be done with Insecure for sure. I also think, like, I don't think Molly's a bad person. I don't. But I think she is also a little bit one of those friends who, it's like, I feel like she roots for Issa and wants to see Issa win, but then I also sometimes feel like she don't want her to win too much. Am I crazy for thinking that? Like, I don't know. I just feel like she likes that Issa, as much as she complains about Issa depending on her, she does also like that Issa depends on her and she has to pick up the pieces sometimes, if that makes sense. But I could be wrong on that. I could be way off, but sometimes I feel like she's like that. But anyway, I'm done with that. So, I do right now, I want to give, I just want to give a shout out to Black excellence, that is Swizz Beatz. Swizz Beatz is like, he's such a like peaceful soul. Like, who knew when he was making all these beats for Rough Riders and everything that there was just this peaceful, humble of a soul underneath, That's my DMX, if y'all couldn't tell. But anyway, that's why you can't judge a book by its cover, which, you know, I tend to not do. But I just like, I love the humbleness and the gratefulness and the genuineness that is Swizz Beatz, that I feel like we have been able to see more as he gets older in age than we probably saw when he was younger. Because when he was younger, I just don't even remember him being out in the public that much. Or, you know, he just kind of was like low key. And he's still a low key celebrity now. He and Alicia are pretty much low key, but they do a lot to try to help people, and they do a lot for humanity. And his latest thing that he wants to do, he was actually on Instagram with LL Cool J. They were doing a live, and he was talking about how it's very important to him to create some type of fund, some type of retirement fund, some type of fund to give back to the founders, the innovators, the people who started hip hop back in the day, you know. And one of the things that he talked about is that, you know, he looks at himself, and he looks at like LL Cool J, and he looks at like a Jay-Z and a Diddy, and he looks at how successful they all are and how they're all living well. And he knows that a lot of people who are the reason that they are where they are, who started hip hop, they're not necessarily living that way. They're not necessarily having that luxury that they have. And it's because, you know, things were different back then, and people didn't pay attention to contracts and stuff and the money as much as they should have, you know, because the hunger was just that deep that you just wanted to get on, you know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times, a lot of bad deals and stuff were done, and deals that left the artist, you know, the creator, left them with nothing in the end. And when you get to the point where you can't really go out and tour and rap as much, because, you know, age is caught up with you, and you kind of just want to be home with your family. And I know a lot of people still tour when they're older, but a lot of people, for the most part, you know, they kind of stop touring so much when they get to a certain age. And you know, he said he thinks it's important for them to just show that love and appreciation back by setting up some type of retirement fund that all hip hop artists pay into if they want to. You know, he's not saying this is a mandate that people have to pay into it, but he's saying this is something that he wants to do, that he's gonna do, that they pay into, that is gonna go towards helping older generations who pretty much built who made the blueprint for them, you know, to do this, what they love to do, which is hip hop. If it wasn't for these innovators and these creators and people who started it before them, like the Curtis Blows and like you know, like the Fat Boys and guys like those guys, like, you know, the Beastie Boys and things like that, they wouldn't be where they are today, you know, because they took a chance, and they, like, you know, it's like, you know, we want to do something different than disco. We want to do something different from just R&B. We want to try this thing called hip hop. If they hadn't stepped up out on faith, stepped up and was courageous enough to do this, then all these hip hop artists that we have nowadays wouldn't be where they are had it not been for these guys. And he's like, as my way of saying thank you, I think it would be, you know, great to set up this fund and make sure that they're taken care of. You know, he's like, because it's important for us to take care of our elders. And I'm totally on board with that. Like, I like am a firm believer of you take care of your elders. Like, for example, when my grandma comes and visits us, she ain't paying for nothing. My grandma will come 3 weeks sometimes. She not paying for nothing. She not worrying about nothing. She ain't doing nothing. She gonna come here. She gonna be on vacation because she got enough of that when she at home, where she gotta worry about things or do things. So when she come here, like, that's just how important elders are to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and my sister, we already say, you're not paying for nothing. And she tries to treat us. She tries to, you know, spend her money on us, and we're just like, we just want you to enjoy yourself, hold on to your money. You bought us enough stuff growing up as kids. We love you. You good. Don't you're not paying for nothing. So I totally get what Swizz is talking about, where he's saying, you know, it's so important to give back to your elders and just take care of them and respect them and love them and treat them the way they should be treated, because so many of them have worked for so long and so hard. And it's like, if the one thing we can do is just try to give to them any way we can to show them that we love them and we appreciate them, why not? Why not do it? It's like, there's all this money you have to buy chains, and there's all this money you have, and I'm not trying to tell you how to spend your money. You know, I would never do that, but it's like in the grand scheme of things, I get more pleasure from and a good feeling from being able to help people and do for people who I love or who I appreciate or who I respect, or even just like random people, because that's just my heart, than going out and buying a chain or something for myself, you know. And if you can afford to do both, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you put in the fun? So Swizz Beatz, he said he wanted to do this. He kind of got like, I don't want to say backlash, because a lot of people thought it was an amazing idea, but he got like some people saying, well, wait, are you trying to make the young artists pay? Are you saying we have to do this? No, and Swizz is like, I'm not saying you have to do this. I'm saying this is what I want to do. And I'm saying I think this is something that would be great if we all could do it together. So he was talking to LL Cool J about it. And LL Cool J, you know, he was saying, let me see, I'm going to find, let's see. He said, I mentioned something about giving back to the pioneers of hip hop. Everybody just went crazy. Most misunderstood me, but what I was saying was, this is something I want to do, period. I want to start a pioneer fund with the founders of hip hop getting taken care of. The founders of hip hop shouldn't need medical. They should be in a great situation. If you look at other cultures and other pioneers that started things, they're living well. I feel personally that it's a bad reputation on hip hop that our pioneers are not being supported in a major way. So Swizz went on to say, let's come up with a plan to take care of the founders of hip hop. It is our duty to do it. Everybody don't have to do it. I'ma do it. To see these icons living, and we're living at the same time, and we know better at this point, we gotta take care of these guys. So that's what Swizz was saying. And like, what by the founders of hip hop, you know, some of the people he mean is, you know, such as Melly Mel, Grandmaster Flash, Sugar Hill Gang, you know, like I said, Curtis Blow, you know, like people who literally like were the icons back in the day, the people who stepped out and actually started doing hip hop, this music that we all love so much because it speaks to us and it speaks to our soul, and it speaks to, it's like, you know, like how much we love R&B. You know, I would love if someone did this for all the R&B artists, you know what I'm saying? Because he makes a good point. You know, when they were coming up in hip hop and stuff, it was a different time. And so hip hop wasn't like, yeah, there were successes, but it was always a constant grind every single day. And there wasn't as many quick rises to the tops as there are nowadays. You know, it was still like, you know, for example, like take New Edition, because they were in such a bad record deal, and I know they're R&B, but it's like they were selling out venues left and right, but then going back from being on tour, going to the projects, and Bobby Brown was becoming a doughboy on the corner because he needed money. And so a lot of our founders were in situations like that. Founders of hip hop were in situations like that too, because the deals and stuff were just bad, really, really bad back then. And I know there's still some bad deals today, but it wasn't as, it's not today, I don't think, as bad as it was back then. You know, today people are wise enough to get a lawyer a little bit more now, or learning to look at the paperwork a little bit more. I know people still have their issues, but like back then, like I said, it was just literally people were signing these horrible contracts and deals left and right just because the hunger was just that raw and real. So Swizz said that, and then LL Cool J, who I love, I used to have the biggest crush on LL Cool J, y'all, love him. He said, I couldn't be more on board than I am. I'm in the helm of this land. He says, I'm in the helm of this shit land with you. It's that vibe. It's about paying it forward. I learned early on in my career it was about me, but you get humbled and you realize there's a bigger world out there than you. I would 100% contribute to that, 100%, because I think it's necessary. It's the right spirit, it's the right heart, it's love, it's evolved. And I just love this. Like, I love this so much because, like, that's, like, so important to me. The whole paying it forward, the whole, you know, I'm such a believer in that. I'm such a believer in the Bible verse that says, to whom much is given, much is expected. So if they could do this, and there's a way that me, somebody who's not even in the hip hop business or the hip hop in the music industry, if I can donate, I will donate, because that is important to me, to be able to give back to our legends, our icons, and make sure that they are able to pay for medical procedures and things they need, and have health care, and have just the basic necessities to be able to pay rent and pay mortgages and whatever else they may need. Like, we shouldn't have these amazing legends, you know, so down and out and downtrodden if some of them are like that, when we as a community can step up and take care of them ourselves. So I applaud Swizz Beatz for this so much. It's such a great idea. I'm totally on board with it. I applaud LL Cool J for actually stepping up and saying, you know, I'm with you. I think this is a great idea. And I hope so many other hip hop people in hip hop, the Drakes, the Diddy's, the Jay-Z's, the Migos, the other mumble rappers, who some of them I can't even name, the Travis Scotts, the Eminems, just everyone. I hope so many other people, you know, the Ludacrises, the Nellies, just so many other people step up and do this same thing. You know what I'm saying? Because this is, like, I think it's a dope idea, and I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. So I really hope that this is something that comes into fruition and it's just not an idea. Anyway, so speaking of hip hop legends, I have to talk about Will Smith and Joyner Lucas. Oh my God! Did you guys hear Will Smith's verse on the remix of Joyner Lucas's song called Will? Oh my God. Y'all, Will came out this weekend, like, listen, or this week, because this was this week. He came out saying, don't forget who I am. Yes, I'm dad now. Yes, I'm husband now. Yes, I'm Oscar nominated. Yes, I'm Golden Globe, you know, nominated. Yes, I'm this big Mr. Blockbuster, because I think that's what he was known. He was called Mr. Blockbuster because he always got people to the movie theaters and would always have the biggest blockbuster numbers, like after Independence Day. Will is like, don't forget where I came from. I'm from North Philly, and I was a lyricist before anything. So y'all, I just want to play y'all a little bit of it. It is so good. It is so good. And I love this because, let me tell you, as a person who is not a big cursor, and you can kind of tell by the fact that I like kind of pause a little bit when I have to read some quotes that have curse words in it. I'm not a big cusser at all. Like, I'm just not. It's just not my thing. But sometimes if I get super, super mad, I'll cuss. But for the most part, I'm not a cusser. Will has gotten a lot of flack for being a rapper who doesn't cuss. He has been called corny, and people have tried to tear down what he has done and who he is as an artist. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so happy that Will came out with this song, his remix, the remix to Joyner Lucas's song, which is called Will, which pretty much just pays homage to Will Smith and his career in TV and films and things like that. And Joyner Lucas pretty much looks up to him or whatever. So Will did his verse, the remix version, and let's see, I'm gonna play it for you guys. Okay, here it is, guys. You feeling like me? I feel like a prince that turned to a king. Found me a queen, started a family and got me a team. On top of my dreams. Don't know how it feels. Oh wait, let me find the long version. Hold on. You feeling like me?
prince that turned to a king. Found me a queen, started a family and got me a team. On top of my dreams, Joyner, I know you inspired by me, like I was inspired by Nelson Mandela. I give him a rose for every endeavor. A shout out to Julius Erving, one of the legends I worship. Muhammad Ali put to work and he was the champ, the greatest, he earned it. I love that you think that I'm perfect, but I had plenty mistakes and burnings. My grandmama thought I was worth it. She always guided me when I was searching. I wouldn't be me if it wasn't for her. I wouldn't be Willie, I couldn't be me if there wasn't no Eddie. I wouldn't be Will if I wasn't from Philly. Ain't nothing much that you really can tell me. Willie been cold since Benny and Jerry. Must have forgot that I really get busy. They done forgot who invented Get Jiggy. Hey, they must have forgot. Back before there was streaming sales, way before all the iTunes and the fans had to get CDs still. 60 million records sold, I was on fire. I ain't even need a grill. Did it all
humble
with no
brag.
words. I ain't had to curse just to keep it real. Me and Jazz in the late 80s, writing rhymes, make tapes daily. Fresh Prince make the babes crazy. Rest in peace to James Avery. Even when the streets call me corny, I still ain't never let the hate break me. I just wanted the respect first. I still ain't never letting fame change me. New me, but I'm old school. Big Willie on the Pro Tools. Still fresh and I'm so smooth. I still got on my old shoes. I give Jada 1,000 kisses. Ain't nothing changed since '02. Martin Lawrence get a rose too. He a legend and a go-to. Man, I love how you break the rules. Pushing limits and you make it cool. Joyner Lucas wasn't made to lose. You a legend and a make it too. What a beauty, my life's a movie. I swear I'm only on take two. All my kids turned out great, and I know your son gonna be great too. Brick by brick, building a wall that no one could break. Flip by flip, glad I could help so you could be straight. And life's a trip, but who could relate? The legends are gone, but it ain't too late to give them a rose and carry the grace. Cause not every hero is wearing a cape.
Hey.
I'm feeling like Will, I feel like a prince, I'm feeling myself. I'm loaded with bills, cause I was a black.
I love it.
You know how it feels. I wanted to flex.
Oh my God. So good, right? Oh my God. Y'all, I don't know where I left off because my phone, not my phone, my Canon camera is a bit of a hater. So my battery died and I had to pick it up where I left off. Like I said, I don't know what I last said, but I think I was just raving about Will Smith's verse on Joyner Lucas's song. And it was just so good. And I loved it. And I just love that Will came out here. And he doesn't have to prove anything to anyone. But I felt like, and I don't even think he was trying to prove anything. That's just, he was just spitting because he's Will and that's just who he is. But I just felt like it proved again why he is so good as a rapper and an actor and just everything that he does. Like, he's not just this squeaky clean actor guy. He's also a lyricist, and that's where it started. And so I just really loved it because I grew up on Will Smith. I grew up on watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like many other people. And so I just ride hard with Will Smith, and I am such a Will Smith fan. So I love this. And I love that Joyner Lucas looks up to him and even wrote this song about him. So anyway, that's pretty much all I had to say about that. I loved it. It was good. His flow was good. His cadence was good. It was just all just yummy, and I loved it. I think that is all I have for you guys today. But honestly, I talked about a lot of stuff today. I ain't even talk about Boosie because, y'all, I can't. Just let my face tell you. I literally cannot. I had it on my list of things to talk about today, and I literally just could not go there because anyone who, like, everybody should know the things that he was saying is completely wrong. It's inappropriate and it's horrible. And what he was allowing to happen was molestation. And anyone who says that it's not, I don't know how you can say that it's not. These are kids who are underage that are 10, 11, and 12-year-olds, and he thinks it's okay to get a grown woman to go down on them because he's raising men. He's raising boys to be men, and this is what they should do. It wasn't cool. And it was very disturbing for me to watch too, along with what he was saying. it was very disturbing to see so many people in the comments laughing and thinking that it was okay, because it's not okay. This is a problem. This is a big rooted problem in our community. And I really hope he sees the errors of his ways and realize how ignorant his comments were, and how that is not good parenting. I don't like to come for anybody's parenting. I really don't. But when children are being violated in a way that they shouldn't be violated, and because they're children, then I'm gonna say something. And I had no problem saying something. It was disgusting what he said. It was disgusting what he did, if he did it. And I just really I don't have a lot of words, because I'm just like, I can't even believe that he was saying this. But I think he was saying it because it's what he's experienced. People do what they've experienced. And somewhere in his life, someone probably did that to him. And some older relative made sure that he was taken care of. And the same way. People do what they learn, a lot of the times. And yeah, I said I wasn't gonna talk about it, and here I am talking about it. But I just couldn't believe it. And then to be very proud that he is teaching his 9-year-old how to put on a condom, or very proud that his 9-year-old was caught jacking off. Guys, come on, we gotta do better. Like, it's unconscionable to me, and I don't understand why there were so many people in the comments laughing and thinking it was funny, because it wasn't. It was sad. It was disgusting. It wasn't cute. And my heart aches for those kids, because they were molested. They just were. You don't have to agree with me. I don't give a damn. That is what I think. And I think we have to do better to protect our babies in our community, and protect against the over-sexualization of our kids. It starts at an early age for our kids, the over-sexualization of them, and we gotta stop it, and we gotta do something and step up and stop it. This is insane. Anyway, I'm so sorry to end on this somber note, because I really did not want to do this. I really did not want to talk about it, because it just made me so angry. And I wanted to keep this like a good vibes, like I wanted good vibes tribe on my vlog today. I wanted it to just be kind of fun and lighthearted and everything. But yeah, God just let me talk about it, so maybe I was meant to talk about it. But anyway, I thank you guys again for joining me for another episode of Undeniably Nikki. I appreciate you so much, y'all. I really rock with everyone who's rocking with me, and I really appreciate it. I want to give a shout out to the Views from the 7, who always retweets my tweets when I send them out, and the guys from the Views from the 7, and they always show me love and support me, and I appreciate it. I want to just give a shout out to all you guys who are always commenting and leaving like little notes and stuff. Stacy, Alicia, Stephanie, just all my friends, all my family, Dee Dee, who just take the time to leave a comment and just say something, because it means so much to me. Y'all, I appreciate it so much. I appreciate y'all just watching every single day. This is all new for me. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to get my edits right. Because, my friend Charles is not going to be able to edit for me anymore, so I'm trying to learn this myself. I'm still trying to figure out exactly my branding as far as signage and stuff goes, and what I want to do and what I want to see. But in the meantime, I just appreciate y'all for being on this journey with me, and just rocking with me, and just really just supporting me as I go through all of these, ups and downs of trying to be a vlogger. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's something that I really love. It's hard. Creating content is so hard, and anyone who thinks it's not, I don't know what to tell you. It's hard, trying to constantly be inspired and have these ideas of things you want to say and talk about. And for me, I have to walk a fine line too, because I'm still in the news business. So there are a lot of things that I can't say and a lot of things that I can't really talk about because it goes against my contract, and I have to still maintain a certain decorum. So a lot of times it's hard for me, you know, to find that balance of things what I can talk about and what I can't talk about. So I just appreciate y'all for going on this journey with me and just really just being supportive. And if you want to keep hearing more stuff from me, if you like what you see, you know, make sure you are subscribed. Just hit the little bell, subscribe to this channel, and then also make sure you're commenting, make sure you're liking, and please make sure you're sharing. Please make sure you're telling all your friends and your family about what is going on over here at Undeniably Nikki. Y'all, I literally just get on here and I just say what's on my mind. I'm just being myself. That is all I want to do on this vlog. And I hope y'all like it. And I love you, and I